Hello and welcome back to LK Tuition. My name's Lucas and today we're going to be looking at laws of indices, otherwise known as power rules. Hope you're well and let's get cracking. So the first one we're going to look at is the multiplication law. So when you multiply powers of the same thing together, you can just simplify it by adding the powers up. So for example, a to the b times a to the c is the same as a to the b plus c. So you can just bring them together and add the powers up. Now this is only, well, let's do an example first before I explain it. So for example, if you had c to the power of 3 times c to the power of 4, well that's the same as c to the power of 3 plus 4, which is 7. So that would be c to the power of 7. And the only reason we can do this is because these are the same. So we've got a and a there, and we've got c and c there. So if they're the same thing and you're timesing them together, you can add up the powers. Okay, so here are a few examples. Pause the video, have a go, and then we shall do them together. Alright, so the first one, we want to write d to the 5 times d to the 9 as a single power of d. Well, we're just adding the powers. This is d to the 5 plus 9, which is just d to the power of 14. Next one, we want to write 10 squared times 10 to the 100 as a single power of 10. Well, that is just going to be 10 to the 2 plus 100, which is 10 to the power 102. Next one, we want to write z to the minus 3 times z to the 8 as a single power of z. So again, we're adding them up. So z to the power of minus 3 plus 8, and minus 3 plus 8 is 5. So that is z to the power of 5. And then finally, we want to do 4 to the 4 times 4 to the 6 times 4 to the 7 as a single power of 4. So even though there are 3 of them, it's the same idea, we just add them all up. So this is 4 to the power of 4 plus 6 plus 7, which will give you, well, 4 plus 6 is 10, and 10 plus 7 is 17. Okay, so that is the multiplication law. The next law we're going to look at is the division law. It's very similar, but this time when you divide powers of the same thing together, you just subtract the powers. So for example, a to the b divided by a to the c is b minus c in the power. So before, when you times them together, the powers add. When you divide them, the powers subtract. So for example, p to the 8 divided by p to the 6 is equal to p to the 8 minus 6, which is 2, p to the 2. Okay, so let's do a few more examples then. Pause the video, have a go. All we're doing is taking away the powers. Okay, so number 1, write h to the 12 divided by h to the 6 as a single power of h. Well, this is h to the power of 12 minus 6, and 12 minus 6 is just 6. So h to the 6. The next one says write 7 to the power of 120 over 7 to the power of 40. Now this fraction is the same as divide, isn't it? That's the same as saying 7 to the power of 120 divided by 7 to the power of 40. So this is the same as 7 to the power of 120 minus 40, which is 7 to the power of 80. Okay, and then number 3, we want to write z to the minus 3 divided by z to the 8. So this is z to the minus 3 minus 8. And minus 3 minus 8 is minus 11. Okay, and number 4, we want to write ab to the power of 31 over ab to the power of 15. So even though we've got two letters together, they're in a bracket and powered up, so we can keep them together. So this is the same as ab to the power of 31 minus 15, which is ab to the power of 16. Okay, great. So that is the division law. The final law we're going to look at today is the power of a power law. So when you power something up and then you power it up again, you can just multiply the powers together. So a to the power of b and then power that up to c, that's the same as a to the power of b times c. So for example, t to the power of 5 all to the power of 8 is the same as t to the power of 5 times 8, which is t to the power of 40. Okay, so just recapping these three laws we've done. So when you times them together, you add the powers. When you divide them, you take away the powers. And when you do a power of a power, you multiply the powers together. So let's just do a practice of these powers of powers. We're just multiplying the powers together, and pause the video, have a go, and then we'll get cracking. Okay, so number one, this says write v squared to the power of 5 as a single power of v. Well, that is just v to the power of 2 times 5, which is v to the power of 10. The next one says write 6 to the minus 3 to the power of 9 as a single power of 6. So this is 6 to the power of minus 3 times 9, which is 6 to the power of minus 27. Okay, next one, we want to write m to the minus 5 to the power of minus 7 as a single power of m. So that's going to be m to the power of minus 5 times minus 7. Two minuses make a plus, so this is going to be m to the power of plus 35. And then last one, we're going to do g squared to the power of 7 to the power of 3. So again, even though there's 3 powering ups, we can just times them all together. So this is g to the power of 2 times 7 times 3. 2 times 7 is 14, and 14 times 3 is 42. So this is g to the power of 42. Okay, and then finally, we're just going to have a look at some mixed questions with a few things mixed together. Have a go, and then we shall have a look at them. Number one, write 5 to the power of 12 times 5 to the power of 6 divided by 5 to the power of 10 as a single power of 5. Well, when you times them together, you add them, and when you divide, you take away. So this is going to be the same as 5 to the power of 12 plus 6, because they're times together, and then minus 10, because there's a divide. 12 plus 6 is 18, 18 minus 10 is 8, so this is 5 to the power of 8. Next one, we want to write q to the power of 6 divided by q to the power of 8 to the power of 3 as a single power of q. Now let's do in the brackets first. So this is going to be the same as q to the power, now it's divide, so it's 6 minus 8, and we'll power that up to 3. Now 6 minus 8 is minus 2, and we want to power that up to 3, and a power of a power is times, so this is q to the power of minus 2 times 3, which is q to the power of minus 6. Okay, so it's just mixing these things together, but it's all the same things that we've been doing already. Number two, we've got simplify 2m squared n cubed all to the power of 4. Now when we do this, we want to power everything in the brackets by 4. So this is the same as 2 to the power of 4 times, we'll put a times there, m squared to the power of 4 times n cubed to the power of 4. Now that is going to be, well, 2 to the power of 4, so 2, double that is 4, double that is 8, double that is 16. So 2 to the power of 4 is 16. M squared to the power of 4, times them together, 2 times 4 is 8, so this is m to the 8. And n cubed to the power of 4, 3 times 4 is 12, so this is n 12. Okay. And then finally, number 4 then, we want to simplify 20x to the power of 4, y to the power of 5, divided by 5x squared y. Okay, so with this, you can just keep everything together that's the same. So if we look at the numbers first, we've got 20 on the top and 5 on the bottom. And 20 divided by 5 is 4. Then we've got x to the power of 4 divided by x to the power of 2. Well, that's going to be x to the power of 4 take away 2, which is 2. And then you've got y to the 5 divided by y. Now y just on its own is just y to the power of 1. So this is y to the power of 5 minus 1, which is 4. Okay, so hopefully you've got those rules in your head now, so when you times things together, they've got to be the same thing, but if you times them together, their powers add up. If you divide them, their powers take away, and if you do a power of a power, you times the powers together. Okay, so this has been LK Tuition. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon for some more maths videos.